Hi, how's it going? I'm Amy and this is A-Star Reads, and welcome to my New Year's book tag. I'm really excited to do this because I saw my friend Liz and my friend Beth Ann do it on their channels. It looked like a lot of fun. It looked like a nice way to celebrate January 2021, and I kind of liked the questions. I thought it was fun and interesting, so I'm gonna give it a go. We'll see. I'm not historically great at tags, so we'll see how this one goes. I'm pretty sure based off what I've seen that this tag was originally created by a channel called Bookables, and I will link that information down below so you can check it out. So the first question is, how many books do you plan on reading in 2021? And I set my goal for 100 this year. I feel like that's really doable considering last year I read 83 books and I had kind of started my channel around July, late July, August. And so very doable goal, but I also want to feel like I'm reading quality versus quantity and not overwhelming myself, because there were a couple of months last month where I was so overwhelmed and I didn't really feel like outside of reading I had much of quality of life. And I'm speaking of November here. And I want to make sure that I'm enjoying the books I'm reading while still having a goal, because it always feels nice to have something to aspire to. So that's my goal, 100 books. I think it's very doable. Question number 2 is, name 5 books that you didn't get to read last year that you want to set as a priority in 2021. And these aren't necessarily the books that are on my goal books list, but these are books that I really had intended on reading last year and just didn't get around to doing. So I'm kind of adding those here because I was like, well, you know, they're kind of sitting there looking at me going, hey, you know, you were supposed to read us and you didn't. So hopefully I get to them this year. And I actually have an extra one that I'll talk about at the end, so it will be 6 books. The first one is Illuminae Files by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is a young adult sci-fi and it's mixed media. And I know nothing about this book really, but for some reason I was hearing it all over Booktube last year. It intrigued me so much that I had to get it. I wanted to read it and I didn't. If I remember correctly, something goes wrong on the planet that they're on and they're forced to leave. This young couple that actually broke up before these incidents happened. So something happens on the planet they are and they both have to escape it. And then along their way, this journey they're on, they're facing a whole bunch of issues like plague, and during this they're also dealing with the fact that they broke up and there's probably issues with the relationship that they had together. So it sounded really cute. I was fascinated by the whole mixed media element to it, and honestly I just loved this, not this part. That part's kind of annoying, but I loved the cover. And I know that this helps because it has like little redactions on here, so it just shows parts that it wants to show, but I just thought this was a cool book. I don't know why it fascinates me so, but it does, so I'm going to read it. The next book is not really surprising if you've seen a couple of my nonfiction reviews. I loved The Warmth of Other Suns by Isabel Wilkerson, and I've been wanting to read Caste for a while. The Origins of Our Discontent. I have heard such great things about this, and I love Isabel Wilkerson because I felt like her research is incredible, it's impeccable, and she did amazing work with her oral histories in The Warmth of Other Suns. So if you haven't read The Warmth of Other Suns, totally, absolutely recommend it. One of my favorite nonfiction books, and I'm excited to read Cass, which is her most recent one. The third book is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse, and I'm really excited about this one. In November, I was reading books that were only authored by Indigenous people, and I really wanted to get to this because it had just come out and the cover is gorgeous. I've been hearing amazing things about it. It wasn't on one of my readathon TBRs for that month, so I just didn't get to it. And it's about this event where winter solstice is coinciding with a solar eclipse. Yeah, winter solstice is coinciding with the solar eclipse, and this event is supposed to bring about magic or something like that. So there are people traveling to this event in Tova, which is the town that this takes place in, and one of them is a bard, another one has a secret and could be this crazy killer or something. I honestly don't know anything about it, but I do know that I've been anticipating it and I need to pick it up, so it will happen. It will happen this year. The fourth book is called One to Watch by Kate Stayman London, and this is an interesting one. It's a plus-size woman who is a vlogger. She's a very well-known vlogger, and she's been complaining about body diversity on television, how representation has not been there. So she ends up getting on a show like The Bachelor. I guess she has to deal with all these people vying for her attention, and I think that she might be the main girl, so then these guys are all there to woo her. I'm just fascinated. I love books that have plus-size representation, as I am a plus-size woman. I would be interested to see how this is handled. I've heard it's very well done, so I'm excited to read it. I had intended to read it last year and it just didn't happen. So here we go, one to watch. It's gonna happen this year. My 5th book is Relic by Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child. This is a horror thriller about the New York Museum of Natural History. There's a new exhibit that comes in, and whatever is in this exhibit starts killing people, and they basically have to try and figure out what it is before this large benefit happens and more people die. And so I'm not exactly sure what to expect from this, but I was supposed to read it in October and I didn't, and I want to read it. I love museums anyways, and so anything set in a museum is interesting already, and I like the concept of this. It kind of gives me Jurassic Park vibes, even though I don't think it's actually dinosaurs that are attacking people, but it's something, and I'm very curious. So hopefully I will get to this soon, because I did want to read this in October. It just ended up being such a busy month. Finally, the last book I need to read is Me and White Supremacy by Layla Saad, and I need to read this because my cousin lent this to me, let's see, back in October, November, and I haven't had a chance to read it, and it's not mine, it's hers, so I need to get to this so I can get it back to Jenny. And of course I need to read this so I can work on my own level of white privilege and use the tools that I have to change that into action and see the change that I would like to see in the world that we live in. So I am really excited about this. It's interesting because it's sort of a step-by-step tool. It really teaches you what to do along the way and how to look at things in a way that are self-reflective. So I'm looking forward to reading this and getting this back to Jenny. Question number 3, what genre do you want to read more of this next year? And I would really like to read more sci-fi and actually fantasy as well. So I do have this plan to read at least one Robin Hobb book a month, which I've already started. So that will definitely bring some more fantasy into my life. But I also want to get more into sci-fi. I didn't read hardly any last year, and I do enjoy sci-fi. So I kind of want to delve into that a little bit more this year. I don't know exactly how that's going to start. I could definitely start with the Illuminae files, but where exactly in sci-fi I want to go, I'm not sure. I will be reading some dystopian this year, but other than that, I don't really have any game plan for this. So I'm just going to try and incorporate more sci-fi into my reading over the next few months. Okay, so question number 4 is name 3 non-book related goals for 2021. And so the first one is something I've kind of alluded to. I would like to get my teaching credentials. So I have applied to the university that I want to go to, which is here in Washington, and I have also applied to the School of Education at that university. Hopefully within the next month or so I will know. And then the spring quarter will start at the end of March. So I should hopefully by the end of March be on my way to getting my credentials. Obviously I won't get it finished this year. Would be nice, but it probably won't happen. But at least I want to be on my way to getting my teaching credentials by the end of 2021. The second goal that I have is that last year I really didn't do 2 of the activities I enjoy most when it comes to being out in the outdoors. So I love kayaking. I have a kayak. I bought it a few years ago, and I just love to take my kayak out and go explore lakes, explore different places, and paddle around. And I only ended up taking it out once or twice last year, which was quite a bummer because I had this idea that I wanted to go at least once a month. Right now the weather is iffy, so it'll just probably be more of a summer goal for me. But hopefully when the weather starts getting nice again, I will make an effort to take my kayak out more. And the other one is hiking. I used to be in love with hiking. I was a huge hiker, especially when I lived in California. And then I moved to Texas to go to school, and there wasn't quite the same level of hiking there as there was in California. I kind of got out of it. And then I moved to Washington, and there are so many opportunities to hike here, and I have not been hiking that much. I have gone hiking, but not nearly as much as I should be hiking. So I miss it. I want to get back to a place where I feel confident with hiking, because I used to be a very strong hiker. And then I've gotten to the point now where I feel like out of breath really easily when it comes to hiking. And sometimes it feels like I avoid hiking because I'm embarrassed by the fact that I won't be as strong of a hiker as I used to be, which is absolutely ridiculous and doesn't make any sense because it doesn't actually make me a stronger hiker by doing that. but it has been something that's been holding me back because I'm just so competitive. I'm like, I should be much better than this, and I'm not. So I'm going to fix that. I'm going to get myself out and hike a lot more this year. The third thing is that I have had to move back home because of financial reasons and then still going back to school. And so I have a studio that's separate from the house. It's a place I don't like spending a lot of time in. If you see my videos, you see that I'm in the main house most of the time because my little studio feels like this bunker, a dark bunker. So I have had aspirations to renovate it, and I'm going to start doing that this year because I want to have a place of my own that feels great, that feels amazing, and it needs it. That little studio, even when I don't live here any longer, it's a nice guest suite in case mom has company. This will be a great opportunity for me to learn because I plan on taking it all the way down to the studs and redoing the insulation and putting up new drywall. And I mean, I'm taking this room all the way down. So it's a little daunting because I will have to move out of it while I work on this project. Once I actually get it started, I feel like it'll become something that I can really be proud of, and I will learn a lot. I will absolutely learn a lot. So I'm really excited about that once I actually get it started. Question number 5 is, what's a book that you've had forever that you have not yet read? So I have had East of Eden by John Steinbeck for a very long time, and I have started reading this. I don't remember when I started reading it. It was a long time ago. And I didn't get a chance to finish it for whatever reason. And I don't even really know how far I made it, but I do know that I want to finish this because I like John Steinbeck and I haven't read enough of his works. I'm currently reading Of Mice and Men with my nephew Nathaniel because he has to read it for school. And we had so much fun talking about the first chapter so far. And one thing I love about John Steinbeck is how he creates his characters. I just love his character development. He's probably one of my favorite authors for character development. And I say that having not read his most important books, East of Eden and Grapes of Wrath. One of my favorite classics of all time is Cannery Row. And so, given that book, I can't really say he is my favorite author of character development until I start reading more. I'm excited about reading Of Mice and Men right now, and I definitely need to get to East of Eden. I also have Grapes of Wrath on my shelf that I should read as well. And question number 6, one word that you are hoping 2021 will be. I'm hoping 2021 will be calm. I had a lot of stress last year. I feel like for various reasons, we all had a lot of stress last year. And this year is a chance to let go of some of that stress, I think. I'm hoping I can let go of that stress and feel calm. Just to take it one day at a time and not stress about what could be around the corner. It will just be a nice, calm year of relaxation and healing. That is what I hope for 2021. So I'm not going to actually tag anybody in this because we're getting towards the end of January and I don't know if people are gonna wanna be doing this in February because we're already then into the year. But if you would like to do this tag or you've already done the tag, let me know in the comment section down below because I would like to check out yours. I am enjoying the questions in this tag. I think it's a lot of fun. So if you like this video, click the like button and subscribe so you can see if I actually got to those 6 books that I planned on getting to in 2021. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you later.